Good morning. I am Mrs. A, and I am in the Soul second and third classroom at Founders. I got a new pet over the weekend. This is an axolotl. It's hard to say. He is otherwise known as a Mexican walking fish. He is an endangered species and only found in 2 lakes in Mexico, in central Mexico. Unfortunately, those lakes are becoming quite polluted and his species is beginning to die out. He is, however, available in the United States as a pet sometimes. And that's how we got him. He was actually born and bred here in the United States. His name is Kirby. Kirby is an albino. You can see that he is sort of white and pink, and that his eyes, let me see if I can get closer, his eyes are pink. Those things that are moving around right now, those are external gills. They help him breathe. Kirby, or axolotls, are amphibians that live only under the water, which is odd because amphibians usually can come out of the water. Other amphibians you might know are frogs and toads. Kirby, so frogs and toads do come outside of the water and they hop around out of the water. Kirby does not. Kirby only lives underwater. He can float around. You can see he has some bubbles in his tank, and those bring air to him to help him breathe because amphibians do need oxygen. He walks around sometimes at the bottom of the tank, and he swims around sometimes. Right now, he's just sort of like looking at my phone. You can see, if I can get the side of his face, he kind of has a little bit of a smile. So he always looks like he's smiling at you, which is kind of cool. He has arms and legs, or 4 feet, and he has fingers and toes, but no bones. Most of his skeleton is cartilage, kind of like the hard part of what's on the inside of your ear. If you feel your ear, it's hard, but it's not quite bone. You can still flex it. That's what his body is made out of. And because of that, he's kind of fragile. So he's not a pet that you can take out of the aquarium and play with. He's sort of like a fish where he has to stay in there all of the time, but he does interact with us. Sometimes he sees us on the other side of the tank and he kind of comes over and looks at us. Sometimes he picks his head up a little bit and smiles at us a little bit. We were told that he was mostly blind because he is an albino. And that's not uncommon for anything that is albino, any species. Sometimes they have a hard time seeing and they are very sensitive to light. So Kirby is kind of in a dark corner in my house. And like I said, you can see his eyes are kind of pink. Oh, that's a really good, you can see his smile a little bit. If you guys play Pokemon at all, we learned at my house that all Pokemon are sort of designed after real live species. So even though Pokemon are not real, they're designed after animals that are. And the Pokemon that is designed after an axolotl like Kirby is called Mudkip. So he is just sort of an interesting little critter who lives in my house now. Like I said, he's a new pet. And he came to stay with us over the weekend. And he's very interesting. There are a lot of neat little facts that we can learn about him. And I thought I would share him with my friends at Founders. And if anybody has any other questions or would like to know or would like to look things up to tell me about him, that would be really cool. Or if you have a question for me, I would be happy to answer it for you. So thank you very much. Welcome Kirby to my home. And oh, there go his external gills that help him breathe again. They're kind of cool. They look like crazy hair or like ears. Anyway, If you have any questions or anything, I would be happy to answer them for you. Thank you. Bye for now.